This is a paid program. JJ Publicidad, EMR, and its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest.
Are you looking for awareness, motivation, inspiration, or just some feel-good talk radio? If so, you've come to the right place. Dr. Nancy knows how to do just that. With her extensive experience and knowledge, she is dedicated to providing care, health, and wellness information and education to the greater Phoenix metropolitan area and beyond. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Dr. Nancy knows. Starts now.
Morning, everybody. On this Saturday, November 14 here, 2020. It has been like a great week, an interesting week, full of events, full of elections, and we know that something that is very important, we just leave it to God so that the best person that was elected is going to be the best for our country. But here, what do we have? We're going to talk about a little bit the event that went in, which is the Polo, the Scottsdale Polo, and also we are going to talk a little bit because we need to leave in about 1 hour when we leave here to the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce, because it's the great Arts and Fine Festival. But we will talk a little bit about that. But well, she's an entrepreneur. She has 2 locations. She's always guided by faith. She's always guided by being the change that she wants to see in the world. So it's my pleasure, as always, to present you the one and only Dr. Nancy.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another great show that we're having today. It's our celebrity month, and guess who we have on the show? It is Larry Tank Jones, and we are going to get to know him really well a little bit later in the show. He is an actor, a producer, and an entrepreneur, and we're going to, get to know how he has evolved and given of himself to our community, not only on the big screen, but also of himself being the husband and the father and a mentor to the youth. So we are super grateful and excited to really get to know him and talk to him a little bit later in the show. And yes, so the structure of the show is we have a celebrity guest each month, and each other week we have expert guests on the show to really deliver information based on the topics that we and the viewers. So remember, you guys can chime in on Facebook or YouTube or eMotion Radio and let us know what topics you'd like to know more about. And we here we're dedicated to deliver this information in an easy, understandable way, and it's from credible individuals that really lead with their heart as well. And so that is pretty much our structure. We are live streamed again on eMotion Radio and a Dr. Nancy Knows Facebook page, as well as drnancyknows.com. With me having over 25 years of experience and coupled with my co-host Gloria Guerrera and 20 years in insurance, and also a history of having a business degree in international business along with journalism, we together are bringing relevant information that all individuals in our community, locally, nationally, and internationally, you should be able to benefit from as well. One of my mottos is be the change that you wish to see in this world, and it only takes one person to do that as well. We do want to thank our sponsors and supporters, and thank you for supporting this platform. We are growing tremendously, and for that we are grateful. Now, let's talk about last week. We had such a phenomenal time at the Scottsdale Stella Polo Classic in Scottsdale, Arizona. Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine and Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show were sponsors and partners of that event, and we had the opportunity, Dr. Nancy Knows, to interview all of the players, all of the individuals that represented the fashion show. One of the longest runways on grass was there, as well as Lugari Pet Salon. Wonderful time, all to be had at that event. Gloria, wasn't it spectacular?
I think it was spectacular. There's so much to talk about that we can share with the community that just like 15 minutes is not enough, right? But we like it. I know that normally I have attended to the Polo Classic, and it was 3 days. But now because of the COVID, they did it in 1 day. And even the owners and Mr. Molina, they didn't know what to expect, where there were hundreds of people. You can see that all the tents and the tables, they were busy. We had a lot of questions. It's the first time that we were able, and that Emotion Radio, being the bilingual platform for the Anglo and the multicultural community, it's the first time that we were transmitting live there in different clips. So I invite you to go into drnancy.com, drnancyknows.com, and Emotion Radio, so that you can take a look at the different clips. And it's interesting. Some people couldn't attend in person, but you can, through this platform, you can attend virtually. We interview, and we will talk about, we will do a special day, a special programs because we were able to interview some of the players there, and it was like a fabulous experience. All of them were very, very impressive. I mean, they were very young, but they are great athletes. And the way that it's interesting how they have, for example, right now we're looking at the McLaren, which is the number 12 or 52, right? That they are like personalized. They have different cars, and they are there for sale. So it's very interesting. There we can see like the team, which one of the things is like, as always, we couldn't have done it without a team effort. So we sent our regards to all the team members, to Maria, to Jaylene, Gabby, Aide, Maria and Mike Kepes. Who else do we have?
Serena,
Tony,
Maggie.
Oh, Maggie. Yes, Maggie, as always, thank you for enhancing our beauty here. We also were there with Dora Basaka, and they had a lot of the that's part I did going right now with the puppy. So that's very nice that they all dress and coordinator here. We are also providing some massages.
We did. That was like a fantastic addition to our services. The rapid COVID testing, IV vitamin drip, and vitamin shots. We were offering flu as well. And the ProFit laser lipo was on display at the event as well. And everybody was engaged, and we were all practicing social distancing, and the event was well attended. Security was in place as well. It was gorgeous weather. You couldn't have asked for a better day to provide services, to learn a little bit more about the polo event itself, the players as well, and even learn more about fashion. And you're absolutely right. With Molina's jewelry, we had such a great interaction with them, as well as Jennifer and Jason Rosen, the supporters and owners of this Polo Stella Classic event as well. And you're right, Gloria, we are going to have a show later this month, really just showcasing all of the things that we did and what took place alone just for this event.
Yes, because it's a really great learning experience. Especially a lot of people were there for the first time. They didn't know what to expect. But no, we really like it a lot. So no, it's fantastic. So, but also the treatment that they do to the horses, right? That they need to bath them there, that they need to put some weights on their legs. So it's very, very interesting. It's a good learning experience.
Really, really awesome. So let's talk about our current our current events right now. Polo Classic was last Saturday, and we interviewed Betsy Lavoie and the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce last week, and she brought to us some really important information as it relates to entrepreneurs and nonprofit organizations and what her chamber does for the community itself, putting on so many events throughout the year as well. And we are at one of the largest fine arts and crafts on the Southwest region that started yesterday. Rain or shine, everyone, and we will be there today after this broadcasting as well. We are offering Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine and Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show are sponsors and supporters of this event, and we're offering rapid COVID testing along with IV vitamin drips and vitamin shots, as well as flu vaccine and free chair massages. So we are having some special pricing during this event as well. Remember, just as last weekend's event was family and pet friendly, so is this event, and we do take your safety seriously, as well as Fountain Hills does as well. So security is in place, social distancing is in place. There's over 500 vendors that converge on Fountain Hills. We're super excited to be a part of that and to continue to be a part of that all weekend long. So please come on out and show your support and get some fresh air as well. Gloria.
No, and I remember that Betsy said that usually they have like 200,000 people. And right now, well, they do not know what to expect, but just like the polo didn't know what to expect, there were a lot of people. So I'm sure that those people that were fans of the arts and fans show, it's going to be we started yesterday and we saw some people, but this Saturday, or well, in a couple of hours, being there, and then tomorrow I'm sure it's going to be like fantastic, especially if you are fine arts, right? Admirer.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a little bit of something for everyone there as well. There's food and entertainment too. And, we're hosted right down by the historical fountain in Fountain Hills. And so we're very privileged and excited to be a part of it, not only this year, but many years to come. It is one of the longest running fine arts events in the country. They've been doing this here. The Chamber has been entertaining this event for over 40 years.
No, and I want to say hello to Samira, because we were talking that she has participated in the past, Samira Javar, with her arts and the kind of accessories that she has in her boutique there at the Tlaquepaque Plaza. So that's great to see that there's a lot of entrepreneurs, there's a lot of solopreneurs, so small companies, big companies of all sizes, and to learn from them, to learn from the mentors and to learn from the people. I think it's like a fantastic opportunity if you don't have anything planned for this weekend.
And listen, over 500 vendors, it takes you just about a whole entire day to get through to see all of the vendors. And health and wellness, getting out to get some fresh air and moving, circulating your blood, that's also very much key. And it's very important that we don't stop living as a nation, and getting out to support your local small businesses and chambers is very important and key as well. Now, however, if you're not feeling well, we do advise that you stay home.
And they need to bring a mask as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Masks are required. Yes, they are. So, we look forward to continuing that for the rest of the day and tomorrow. So come out and show your support. And we are going to be talking about, in our next segment, Larry Tank Jones and what he has done on not only on the big screen, but what he has done in our local community, not just locally, but nationally as well. And we are super, super supporters of individuals that give back to the community in their philanthropic ways as well. But we really want to get to know who is Larry Tank Jones as a person as well, because making yourself a priority is very much important. It's one of the premises of, why I do what I do as well, because as nurturers, we sometimes do not take care of ourselves first. But it's just like in a plane situation. When the masks drop, secure your mask first, and then you can take care of others. But make yourself a priority. And we're going to get to know Larry Tank Jones when we return.
Yes, and also I just want to request the audience to have a special prayer, because the niece of Maggie's makeup, she's right now currently in the hospital because accidents happen. That's why we need to take care of our health, and right now she's in ICU. She's only 10 years old, and I really believe in faith and praying together as a team for the recovery. They were driving there on 51 Avenue and Bell, and her dad passed away in the crash, and she's 10 years old. She's recovering, so we are praying for you.
We send out all those prayers. God can make a difference. We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss what's coming up next, because Dr. Nancy knows. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy. Welcome to our clinics. We believe that personalized care and relationship building are the basis of improving health outcomes. At Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, you gain healthcare providers who take the time to understand your health goals and find solutions. We offer optional medical memberships, giving you peace of mind and quality care. We provide both medical and aesthetic services in 2 Arizona locations. We practice the highest standards of patient care. We respect patients' rights. We safeguard patient confidences. We treat patients with compassion. You are invited to call the office to schedule an appointment or online at a time that is convenient for you. Call to schedule 480-669-6452 or visit our website at drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com.
Hi, I'm Gary Charlson. I represent ProFit Laser Technologies. We have brought to the forefront the 3rd generation of body contouring, fat loss, inch loss technology that has not existed before. What we've done is taken the opportunity to review some of the markets and some of the other products in this market space and created a new generation of non-invasive, no downtime, no side effects, and no kidding, you can lose up to 2 inches of body fat in one 20-minute treatment. So we started our company about 5 years ago here in Arizona. My background is in the tech world. I started a technology company back in 1984 and ran that company for 15 years and involved with software development, grid platform development over that 15-year period. So I'm not new to technology. When I discovered the body contouring industry 5 years ago, I said, this is a big deal. So if you have a spa, a salon, a gym, we would certainly like to talk to you about the possibility of having us put one of these systems into your facility and making a difference with your customers and your clients, bringing added value to what you already have. So I'm very excited to be having the opportunity to be aligned with Dr. Nancy Knows and the opportunity to be on her program this next week. Look forward to talking with you more and sharing more about our product and our service with you.
You're listening to Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Ask your questions now. Dr. Nancy is listening.
Well, welcome back. We have a special guest, and it is Larry Tank Jones, and he's not just a special guest. He's our celebrity of the month, and that's a big deal because here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, we select our guests, and they have to really be giving back in the community and leading by setting an example. And we're really grateful to have Larry Tank Jones here on the show, and I'd like to edify him to the highest. Gloria Guerrera is going to introduce Larry Tank Jones to us.
Thank you. Yes, well, here in Dr. Nancy Knows and Emotion Radio. We are welcoming Larry Tank Jones. I'm just going to read a little about him so more people know and have awareness about this great person. Because before being an actor and a producer, he's a great human being. So Larry Tank Jones is an actor, producer, musician, motivational speaker, and philanthropist. You have seen his talent on popular TV hits like NCIS, CSI Miami, and Breaking Bad. You will see him also on some upcoming films like The Cold Cartel, Exposure, Fruit of the Poison, and My Heart Dies with Your Heart at War. Tank played a leading role in the historical film Union Bound, based on the diary of a Union soldier. Tank Jones produced the series Fire and Ice and is the co-producer of the very successful Latin comedy gem Comedy Tour, because he will talk to us a little bit in Spanish. Tank has worked consistently in TV and films, accumulating 35 plus TV or movie appearances since 1997. So with that entrance, I just want to say, welcome Larry Tank Jones to our show.
Well, thank you. I guess I need to get busy. Shoot, I'm like, who is she talking about? Oh, that's me. Okay. How you guys doing?
We are wonderful, Larry. You know, Larry does like to be called Tank, so I will refer to him that way. We are honored to have you here on the show, and time flies. It really does. So when you do so many things that are really good, and you're definitely a man of faith, and you lead with your heart. You just leave this blazing trail behind that when someone talks about what you have done, you're like, is that me?
Right.
Well, yeah, it is you.
So
And you should be very proud of that, definitely.
Thank you, Dr. Nancy.
Definitely. We do want to get to know who is Tank Jones, really. Who are you? Not the actor, not the producer, not the entrepreneur. Who are you? You're a husband?
Yes, ma'am. I am a husband. My lovely wife, Nicole Jones, is at home. Hello, darling. I have 3 lovely children, ages 8, 15, and 16. Yes, I have 2 teenage girls. Please pray for me. My son is doing awesome. He's also a little actor, too. So one of those projects you talked about, he's in it with me. He's in Cold Cartel with me.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, so... And you said entrepreneur, so I'm a currency trader. I trade options, and I founded a nonprofit organization called Choices that went to elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, spoke at a couple Fortune 500 companies and some colleges, talked to students about creative ways to deal with life, peer pressure, work ethic, respect, why it's important to believe in yourself. All the things you guys seem to be talking about on this show.
Absolutely, and that's why you're such a great guest to be on the show. You lead by setting an example, and oftentimes you know this to be true, that when an individual gets a certain status in the public, sometimes they don't take those roles seriously, but our youth are looking at these individuals, and I know for a fact that you take your role very seriously, not only in the big cameras and film, but in your everyday life as well, and the ways that you give back as well.
No, I still, I've been talking at schools for now almost 15 years, and I still have relationships with a lot of the students that I've spoke with over the years. I just spoke at a school, it's been oh my goodness, it's been about a year in New Mexico. And I've got several students that I still communicate with over there that I'm still trying to assist, trying to help. They create videos for me on special occasions, so I feel really connected to that community. It's just outside of Silver City, Deming area. But yeah, I'm always trying to encourage. If you follow me on social media, 90% of my posts or more are always about something uplifting, particularly in a time when unfortunately people seem to be finding things that separate us, if you will. Whatever the message might be. But for me, I'm always trying to bring people together. My uncle used to tell me, you can't save the world. Say, yeah, I can't save the world, but my world is my sphere of influence. So if my world is my sphere of influence, I, in fact, can change the world. And so I just need to broaden my sphere of influence.
That's absolutely
Then the ripple
right.
gets bigger.
I totally agree with that because for me, I say if it just takes one, right? And then when you're in this celebrity status, you have a larger voice and your impact is much greater.
Yeah, don't I'm say just not throwing my uncle under the bus. My uncle's an awesome, brilliant, wonderful man. Matter of fact, a lot of me is because of him. I'm just saying. We had this conversation. So I just want to make sure that I clarified that. Don't get mad at me, Unc.
No,
Love you.
Tank, where are you from?
Originally, I am from Illinois. I grew up in a farm town roughly 50 miles south of Chicago called Hopkins Park. Oprah actually did a show from where I lived years ago as it's one of the poorest places in the country, and most people have not heard of it. Town of less than 500, some beautiful people there though, and I'm very happy and blessed to have called that place home.
Wow, you've defied the odds.
Yeah,
you're an underdog.
Yeah, my parents, unfortunately, they separated when I was young, so my dad lived in the city. My mom lived in the country, so I was with him on the weekends. I was with my mom during the week, so I figure I got the best of both worlds. Small city, small farm life. I learned how to drive on a tractor.
Oh, wow.
But I also got city, so I'm actually comfortable in both.
How old were you when you said that your parents separated?
Tres.
Sí. Okay, because sometimes, my parents went, I was 12, and however, we can still do, get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Always see everything positive. So how does Tank, then after that happens, how do you find your guide in school? Did you went to school in Illinois too?
No, I stay home. No, I have no education whatsoever. No, I actually. It's funny if you talk to my parents, if you talk to anybody in my family. I was just a different kid, different child, and I used to read a lot on my own when I was a little kid. I used to make model rockets when I was a little kid. I used to make astronomy maps when I thought I was going to be an astronomist. One of my teachers thought I was going to be a mathematician. No. But it's something that is God gifted, blessed to be that innate. My mom, she has multiple degrees, so education has always been important to her. Lovely, awesome woman. How you doing, Mom? And yeah, it's just been something that was important. Even though they were separated, I had family on both sides. I've always had the support of all my family, all my friends, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's
a
really,
self-starter.
Yeah, you definitely could say that, and not afraid to be different.
How did you get into acting?
Actually, I did my first commercial when I was 2 years old.
Wow.
It was a Sesame Street commercial. And a lot of things happened between that first commercial and acting again. Some unfortunate things. But when I was in school, I was always doing the plays. We did King Midas. I was King Midas. We did Ebenezer Scrooge, Christmas Carol. I was Ebenezer Scrooge. We did a lot of plays in church. I was always Jesus. Now, so it's always been something that I've enjoyed. School, church, and when I got older, about 14, this girl, my mom always used to make sure that we were dressed nice. So at 14, a girl named was Becca Alwyn, 'cause I always remember this. I even remember what I was wearing. She said, you look like a model, because my mom always had me dressed. When I said I wasn't afraid to be different, I didn't wear jeans when I was in school. I didn't wear my first pair of jeans until a movie role. We'll come back to that. So she said, you should model. And then I told my mom, and she started telling me about the stuff I did when I was younger. And I went to modeling school. Then I got my first jobs, professional jobs, when I was about 14, 15. And when I came to move out here, I came to live with my dad because I was going to Arizona State and because it was close to LA.
Wow. So that path, ultimately, you followed your dream, walked into your destiny, and you became who you are today because of that.
Yes, ma'am.
But you had many options. That's
yes.
awesome. That's really awesome.
Well, so like I said, school's always important. So I had a lot of actually job opportunities too when I graduated. I graduated with a degree in marketing, and I used the skills to be an entrepreneur, because I've always wanted to actually just work for myself and be my own boss, be in charge. And there's more opportunity there. And yeah, you're gonna take your bumps and bruises, and it's gonna go like this, and say, but I'm okay with that.
That's right. Yeah. That's exactly right.
One of the things we were talking with Betsy Lavoie precisely, it's about entrepreneurship and the opportunities, because then you can make that difference in the world, in your world.
Yes.
Because there's no limits.
Absolutely.
You're different, while everyone has their own individuality, and you can just rise as high as you want, help as many people.
Yes.
And be the great family person, and even create nonprofits so that those that had any disadvantages or not the same opportunities, you can actually give them scholarships or mentorships.
We did that. So, and that's what I teach my kids. I actually got a chance to partner with some of the individuals who were responsible for the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And we went to schools all around the state, teaching financial literacy in high school. And we partnered with Arizona State one year, we partnered with GSU another year, and we gave away tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships. So,
that's awesome.
So yeah, we did that.
You still doing financial education in the schools?
Haven't done financial education in the schools in a while, but when I go back and when I speak, it's always a part of, we give the schools the option if that's something that's for us to speak about.
How important do you think right now that financial education is?
Yeah. That's so. Again, I have 3 kids, and right now, so during the whole COVID thing, one of the things that I told people, say, if you didn't grow and during that time off, if you will, you blew a significant opportunity. I taught my kids how to trade. During that time. Financial literacy is of mega importance to our household. My daughter, she has a couple businesses of her own. They do pet sitting occasionally. They also babysit. And every Sunday we sit down and we go over their books. And they have trading accounts where they have to paper trade, and they have to see results over the course of several months, and then they get their own accounts to where they can grow them. And we've got buckets. We've got the savings bucket, we've got spending bucket, we've got the investment bucket, we got the savings bucket. And if you want to travel or get a car, you need to make a separate bucket to take that out of the spending bucket, not out of the investment bucket or the savings bucket. So absolutely extreme. I mean, I'm practicing what I preach. I'm teaching it to my kids, and it's starting to pay off.
No, absolutely, especially because I was talking to my children yesterday. They don't teach you at school financial literacy. So you may graduate, you may finish, and then it's like, okay, how do I balance my checkbook? How do I create those buckets? When can I start investing? It's not easy for people to get.
It really is, and one of the reasons why we were doing what we were doing, I'm not going to say which schools, but unfortunately there were enough of them to where we were like, oh my goodness, there were kids who could not do simple addition and subtraction without the use of a calculator, and they were in high school.
Yes.
And it was really sad. So that's one of the parts as far as what our mission and what we were continuously doing for those. We did that for 4 years. And anytime that a school calls me to speak, wherever it is, I try to make sure that I make time for it if I'm doing a project in that area. Now with COVID right now, it's making it a bit difficult for that. But I had a lot of schools, particularly because my nonprofit started in New Mexico, so I still speak over there, even more so than I do here. But I'm still available to do that because it's part of my heart to do that. No pun intended.
No, it's totally great. I mean, financial freedom is an American dream that we all deserve. Mm-hmm. And if it's not taught in school, where can it be taught?
Yeah.
I think that's certainly a nice topic that Gloria and I can have further discussion on as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. Tank, what is your American dream?
Yes.
My American dream. You want me to give you the Miss USA, Miss America speech right now? I say world peace. My American dream, actually, so my wife and I were actually somewhat talking about this. I feel right now a strong calling. And I said my platform is going to begin to grow because of the projects that I do have coming up. My platform will begin to grow and expand next year. One of the things, believe it or not, that's on my heart to do is to help the education system, not just with financial literacy, but with history.
Yes.
And changing the way that history is taught. Right now, things are so divided because there's so many stories that people just don't know. And then you have months where you learn certain things and then you don't learn it anymore throughout the year. So you're able to segment and block that out of your mind. It's like, well, that was just a little small thing. That little small thing shaped the way that we in this country behave and operate towards each other.
That's exactly
So
right.
of my American dreams is to help actually not even rewrite curriculum, but to include, if you're going to talk about American history, let's talk about American history.
More diversity.
Yeah, it's what various groups who helped build and shape this country put their stories in and interweave them just like we're interwoven. And then I think generations that follow will actually end up the better for it and more unified, looking for ways in which we're more alike than we are different. So that's
awesome.
That's history, financial literacy, and things that bring together inclusiveness.
Very
That's
good.
great. Thank you.
We do want to know why you chose Arizona. It's a beautiful state, and you're you're a well-known actor, and most actors and actresses, they live in Hollywood.
I actually live in both. I'm 70% here, I'm 30% there. I have a small apartment in Van Nuys. And so, but
Van Nuys,
LA
the
used
beach.
to be, well, it's close.
The ocean.
It's close. Actually, LA used to be home base. But when our kids got older, we thought moving here would be better for them. It's a better way for us to be able to kind of control their environment, things that they're exposed to, because we didn't really want them to grow up too quickly. And I would be the one that would commute back and forth. And so it used to be 70-30 there, and now it's 70-30 here. And when I was really doing a lot of the schools talks, a lot of them were here and in New Mexico. So right around that time is when we came back and we made the transition from LA to here. But I'm still there about 30% of the time.
Well, that definitely makes sense, having the best of both worlds and raising a family. How spacious and beautiful Arizona is an excellent choice to
You get a lot more house
to
too.
do that. Yes.
Just saying.
Totally, 3 times larger,
Yes,
more
sometimes
comfortable.
So let's talk about you're very physically fit, and you appear to be very healthy
thank you.
well. But tell us a little bit about your health, Tank.
So appearances can be deceiving. No, don't give me. I am healthy. What Dr. Nancy wants me to talk about is here. I'm gonna give you the small view of my health history. I've been
Let me pause. Let me make a pause there.
Time out.
Time out. So that you can inspire and breathe, so we can get some emotion for our audience, who is the most important client, the audience, what you are saying as an influencer. It's very important for those people that are listening. And as you know well, we have a multicultural platform. But we need to go into some commercials.
Okay.
And I just want to remind people
my
that
goodness.
it's
Jeez.
not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but who she knows. We'll be back.
You don't want to miss what's coming up next, because Dr. Nancy knows. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy. Welcome to our clinics. We believe that personalized care and relationship building are the basis of improving health outcomes. At Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, you gain healthcare providers who take the time to understand your health goals and find solutions. We offer optional medical memberships, giving you peace of mind and quality care. We provide both medical and aesthetic services in 2 Arizona locations. We practice the highest standards of patient care. We respect patients' rights. We safeguard patient confidences. We treat patients with compassion. You are invited to call the office to schedule an appointment, or online at a time that is convenient for you. Call to schedule 480-669-6452 or visit our website at drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com.
Hi, I'm Gary Charlson. I represent ProFit Laser Technologies. We have brought to the forefront the third generation of body contouring, fat loss, inch loss technology that has not existed before. What we've done is taken the opportunity to review some of the markets and some of the other products in this market space and created a new generation of non-invasive, no downtime, no side effects, and no kidding, you can lose up to 2 inches of body fat in one 20-minute treatment. So we started our company about 5 years ago here in Arizona. My background is in the tech world. I started a technology company back in 1984 and ran that company for 15 years and involved with software development, grid platform development over that 15-year period. So I'm not new to technology. When I discovered the body contouring industry 5 years ago, I said, this is a big deal. So if you have a spa, a salon, a gym, we would certainly like to talk to you about the possibility of having us put one of these systems into your facility and making a difference with your customers and your clients, bringing added value to what you already have. So I'm very excited to be having the opportunity to be aligned with Dr. Nancy Knows and the opportunity to be on her program this next week. Look forward to talking with you more and sharing more about our product and our service with you.
Te damos la bienvenida a las clínicas de la doctora Nancy. Creemos que la atención personalizada y la creación de relaciones son la base para mejorar los resultados de salud. En la medicina integrativa de la doctora Nancy, obtienes un socio de atención médica que se toma su tiempo para entender tus necesidades de salud y encontrar soluciones. Ofrecemos membresías médicas opcionales que te brindan tranquilidad y atención de calidad. Tenemos servicios médicos y estéticos en 2 ubicaciones en Arizona. Practicamos los más altos estándares de atención al paciente. Respetamos tus derechos como paciente, protegemos la confidencialidad y tratamos a los pacientes con compasión. Llama ahora a la oficina para programar tu cita al 480-669-6452 o en línea visita nuestra página de internet.
drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com.
You're listening to Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Ask your questions now. Dr. Nancy is listening.
We are back with Larry Tank Jones. He is a big-time movie screen actor, producer, and entrepreneur, and he's given of himself to our community youths across the nation. We left off by, talking about overall health and wellness and making yourself a priority and how important that is. And one of my mottos is you're going to invest in one of 2 things in life. It's either going to be your health or it's going to be your illness. Certain things can happen. It could be based on genetics or just lifestyle in general. But living your best life here and now so that you leave behind the legacy that you desire is the most important thing here. Tank Jones wants to share his story as it relates to a heart condition that developed not too long ago and that he was able to overcome. I would love for him to share his story on how he did just that and is thriving to this day. Tank?
So I will share it directly to you, audience. For those of you who don't know, I was getting ready for a television show, working out with Ethan Banning at Triple Threat Performance. How you doing, Ethan? He's one of the top trainers in the world, actually. And I had, in less than 40 days, lost 3.2% body fat, had gained 5 pounds of muscle, feeling great. Had a great workout. Took a shower, still feeling great, went to the gas station, and I felt an intense pain in the middle of my chest. On a scale of 1 to 10, pain-wise, it was a 15. I mean, I had tears in my eyes and everything. I went back because he's also a therapist. He treated me. I felt a little better. When I got home, my wife massaged me because we thought it was muscle cramps. At no point in time did I think that I was having a heart attack. Zero. I'm too healthy. I'm too young. No way. I went to sleep. I wake up the next day, pain's not a 15, but I'm still hurting. I tell my wife I'm not feeling quite right. We go to the urgent care. Lady does an EKG. She looks at me and tries to keep a straight face to say, we don't have a cath lab here. We're calling the EMTs, taking you to the ER. I'm like, still not registering, okay? And I'm like, what? Why are you doing that? Like, well, if I need to go to the ER, my wife can just drive me over. It's only 2 miles. I don't want to spend $500 for 2 miles. It was actually $950, but that's a different story. And she looks at me with the straightest face, said, what's $500 if you're dead? Still didn't catch it, okay? I go over to the emergency room. They do another EKG. Next thing you know, everything turns black. I wake back up. My wife is there. The doctor's there too. And I could tell my wife had been crying. And I asked, what's going on? Doctor says, you just suffered a massive widowmaker heart attack on our table. Wow. Your LAD artery was 100% occluded, blocked. No oxygen was getting to the bottom of your heart. It collapsed. We were able to open it up 20%, and you're lucky to be alive. Oh, by the way, we need to go back in tomorrow. I'm not sure if we need to crack you open or if we can go through your thigh. I'm looking at these people like they're crazy. Because, again, too young, too fit. Nothing in my history suggests that this would end up being the outcome for me. My children came, everybody in tears. My mom flew down. It was really, really difficult and hard. Fortunately, as you can see, I'm still here. They were able to go through my thigh, thankfully, put a stent in, and I had an EKG roughly a month and a half ago. I'm not sure if you know about the scale, but anything over 55 is normal. Under that, you need to be concerned. Mine was over 55, which means I went to bed. I had a 24-hour widowmaker heart attack. 0 heart damage. God is good. Since then, I've always been a health and wellness advocate. I've taken a much deeper approach. I've created a piece for the Healthy Heart Addict. I've created the series. I now myself speak to doctors. I'll probably have her on my show too. And your health is so important. Even you don't have to worry about it, if you will, until you do.
Yes.
Let's talk about some prevention, some preventative measures. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you go and get your annual checkup. Make sure you're taking your vitamins and your supplements. Making sure you do everything necessary and possible that you need to do to be here not only for yourself but for your family as well. Because you never know. I never thought that I would be talking about my own mortality until 40, 50 years from now. But I'm talking about it now. It's so important. I'm living proof of that. The fact that I was in shape, the doctors told me, was a big, big component in the reason why I'm still here with you today. Another cardiologist told me, unfortunately, there is a gentleman who came into his place, 42 years old, with his daughter, saying, you're not going to let my daddy die, are you? He came in, wasn't feeling any symptoms. He had a blockage in a small artery on his heart. By the time they got in there, unfortunately, they could not save him. But he didn't look like it from the outside. Young, viral male. Just like that, gone. Heart disease and heart conditions affect over 700,000 people every year. All of us have a heart. Take care of yours.
Thank you, Tank. That's such an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us and our viewers. And it's everything that I've been preaching as well. You only get one time around, and take care of yourself first and foremost. It's all about health and wellness, and then live your best life. Make yourself a priority.
Yes.
We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Gloria?
Well, and right now, a lot of people are under stress. There's people that do not take care of themselves because they are worried about bills, or they want to be actors. They have dreams.
Yes.
So for those kids that are listening to you, that are on elementary, high school, university, that want to be actors, what would you advise them? Would you say, go right at Hollywood and you're going to make it? Or, okay, it's going to take 1,000 auditions before you get elected?
So this is the most is the happiest. You can be elated at one point, and then you can be down at the dumps at another point when it comes to acting. The time period that we live in right now, it is easier than ever to, if you've got a phone, if you've got a camera of any sort, if you have an internet connection, you can create. And that's what separates people who say they want to do something versus people who want to be famous. Because if you want to act, you'll find ways to make your project. Look on YouTube. Look on Vimeo. Look on any streaming platform. Look on Instagram, TikTok, and where you've got all these people who are being very innovative, very creative with their projects. I talked to an actor just last week who shot a whole film on Zoom, okay, free. There are so many platforms out there right now for people to be creative. If it's what they really want to do, they'll find a way to get it done. And those are the types of things that actually get you noticed. So if you want to do the big studio films, or if you want to do the network shows, you have to find a way to market yourself and stand out from everybody else. And those are some of the best ways to do it. But understand, if you get into this profession, you're going to have highs and lows, and sometimes you can come out and you can be a success overnight. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Sometimes it's the worst thing that can happen to you, though. You think that's what you want, because then it happens, and then you never hit you hit a plateau, and everything starts to go down like so. So if it's what you really want to do, make sure it aligns with your personal values. Create a pathway to get there. What are the milestones that I need to achieve in order to get there? And it has to include doing something for yourself and on your own. What do you want to see yourself as out there? Create the project, shoot it, market it, and begin marketing the heck out of yourself to those who are able to see it. He or she's pretty good. Get some classes, good headshots. Those are just the basics.
So you don't have to go to Los Angeles anymore.
You don't have to go anywhere other than your bedroom nowadays.
That's really, really great information. And what I hear you saying is you have to be creative, step outside your comfort zone, and do something that no one else is doing. Have great mentorship in your life as well. Be organized and systematical and just methodical about what it is that what drives you, what's your passion, and don't let anybody stop you.
Yeah, the mentors in the network is so important. And don't network with people just because you're looking at what you might be able to get out of them. Create real relationships, because people can sense that, and you'll never get anywhere doing it like that. I call that the Hollywood way. And you know the people who are trying to Hollywood you, and you kind of steer clear of those people.
Latin comedy. Talking about Hollywood. Háblame un poquito en español. ¿Qué me puedes decir de Latin comedy?
Sí, bueno, yo era el productor 4 años, Latin Comedy Jam, y had a lot of fun doing that. It was one of the most fun times that I ever had. We worked with many great comics during that time, from George Lopez to Fluffy to some up and coming guys who you see now, like Jerry Garcia, and we put together a show that went all over the North and Southwest, and those guys killed every time. And we went back not just 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and we sold out almost every show. Carlos Mencia, Paul Rodriguez even. Lots of fun. Te amo mucho. I'd say, well, my Latin and Hispanic brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
You know, that's what we aim to strive for, is unity, and multicultural platform like this is ideal, and it's so essential right now, the way the nation needs to heal as well. And the more things that we can do together, and leading with your heart and having the compassion and sincerity, and people can see that you want to connect with them, is really critical in this time.
Absolutely. Well, we're almost running out of time. I know we were talking offline that we need to bring Tank, and another time we can be in your show, and then you can go back to the show, right? So that's
absolutely. Just because I know you guys are wrapping up. But my kids, one of the things you say: English, Spanish, Mandarin, Russian, French, Japanese. There was one more, but I forgot. Korean.
Wow.
That's awesome.
8 languages.
That's one of the things that I have tell them. And I also can speak. Hablo español, Ruski. Приятно познакомиться. Меня зовут Tank. In Mandarin. 我会说一点普通话，可是我说得不好。We went to China last year, and I got a chance to practice those skills too. So it takes me a second. Sometimes I got to get my mind back right. And I was explaining to Javier, it had been a while since I had spoken Spanish for a bit, so I've been practicing for the last 2 weeks to get better and better. I used to be fluent.
Very good.
And my goal is before my birthday was in February to be fluent again. So, muchas gracias.
Oh, no. Muchas gracias a ti. Y bueno, ese es un ejemplo para las personas que nos están viendo que we are not different. We are just like overachievers, right?
We try.
Right, but it's just like sometimes they say, "Oh no, you cannot do it." It's like never give up.
Never.
And if fail, you may fail that moment, but it's just a lesson for the next step and the next step and the next step. You cannot win if you don't fail, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
That's the way we learn. And okay, Dr. Nancy, so our next show is going to be about what?
Our next show is going to be about the Polo Classic in its entirety, our special moments and individuals that we connected with that were very instrumental in making or having this event year after year after year. We are going to share all of the experiences that we had at that event with you all, our viewers and listeners, next week.
Okay, Doctor. So I just want to say, as always, thank you very much. It's an honor. Thank you for all the great messages you gave us, for us, and for Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z.
Our future.
Our future generation. They are the future leaders of our countries. Yes. So, no, it's great, and we would love to share that opportunity with you because I know we all have kids, and we want to make sure that they live their life to the best way they can live it.
Exactly. So listen, guys, everyone, it's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. And we're making some really good connections here in our communities. And we want to bring that information to you each and every week. So please continue to watch us every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on eMotion Radio Live and also drnancyknows.com. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Optimal health requires you to perform at your peak potential. Start today. Be the change you wish to see in the world. This was Dr. Nancy Knows. Thank you for connecting. We're waiting for you on our next broadcast here at EMR, eMotion Radio.